What up, dudes? Welcome on in. The recap on Saturday, man. We do it every week, and it's cool because we just watch the games and we give you everything that happened today. So if you didn't get to watch something, we'll kind of keep you posted. The first big game that we can start with was USC and Oregon. And I think we knew in this game, like, obviously we knew the backdrop of the Pac-12 days and this being a rivalry, but we knew USC was going to have to play really, really well. And they were going to have to find some extra plays and do something a little bit special to beat Oregon. And they did the exact opposite. Like, very, very frustrating watching USC. Just alone in the first half. And it was a competitive game in the first half. First half, for special teams purposes for USC. Kickoff out of bounds, kick catch interference, gave up a punt return touchdown, leaped over a guy on the field goal block, which was 3rd and long. You gave them an automatic free first down. They missed the field goal, but you gave them a personal foul. They ended up getting a touchdown, and you doinked a field goal off the upright. So, like, you need things to go your way, and you need to win the margins and win special teams and win penalties, and that's something that USC consistently doesn't do. The stupid penalties. What was Lane doing going over to the sidelines? Like, what are we doing? To go get a ball? We're going to get the ball? Like, shot themselves in the foot with penalties, and we could keep going over and over with the penalties, man. I mean, there was enough of them to go around. I mean, it was just dumb. There was so many mistakes and so much lack of discipline. You saw special teams rear its ugly head before. They gave up a kick return to Notre Dame in a big game and another big loss. USC. And listen, give credit to Oregon. Like, let's give credit to Oregon and who they are and what they are. And Oregon's, they got some issues that we're going to have to get solved. Because if you look at Oregon, man, the offensive line is beat to crap. The receiving core is beat to crap. But they just continue to line up. They rushed for over 200 yards against USC. They didn't really need a lot of balance. They're the more physical team. It reminded me of Texas and Georgia from a week ago. Like, one team lives in that element, lives tough, practices that way. Their coach demands it that way. It's that way all the time. That's how you get it. And one team that doesn't and that made mistakes, that shot themselves in the foot. But when you watch Oregon's defense, they fly around. They absolutely destroy people. It's incredible to watch them. They're not the most talented D. They gave up a bunch of plays deep. And I know Lane and Lemon are going to make those plays. Like, that's not abnormal. They're really, really good. But how about this freshman, Nook Hines? Like, he was making plays. I had to look him up. I was like, who is this cat? I mean, he was making plays down the field. Oregon, I was kind of worried about their defense. They were getting a bunch of pass interferences. But then they did a really, really good job of protecting the deep ball, not giving as many one-on-one situations, a lot more help over the top, playing physical, playing through hands. And, Brent, we've talked a lot about their backs, like Oregon's backs. Does anybody's backs run harder in the country? Like, I literally wrote that down watching them run. Like, that's
a great point.
They run with some piss and vinegar. Like, they freaking come, like, dude, they come downhill, like, they're always falling forward. Like, the number one thing, if you guys watch a pile on defense, like, there's so much, you grab the pile, and the big thing about defense is tackle back, tackle back, tackle back. Like, that's your whole philosophy, not to let guys get yardage. But my gosh, every single time, man, whoever it is, and they rotate a shoot ton of them, but they run angry and they fall forward and they keep themselves in better situations because of it.
Well, and the cool part about it is the contrasting styles. So you have Hill, that's the speedster, 23, and then Davison, the other freshman, that is just the big physical, really good cuts, all that, and then Whittington, who's small but runs like he's 6 foot 210.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of all that, and this was one of those games where you look up and you're like, okay, this shouldn't be a one-score game in the fourth quarter, but it was. And a big time credit to Oregon because of all the injuries that you talked about. Center,
top three wide receivers are out. But yeah, you're right. The offensive line is a big deal now.
But then what did they do in the the sort of finishing drive,
Throw
balance,
it to Sadiq.
run, all that. So I have a point about Sadiq because when you think about teams that can win the whole thing, I still think Oregon is a team that can win the whole thing because of all the people that potentially are healthy round one. And then if you get a lot of that back and you're healthy and ready to go round one with your squad, they, to me, have as much talent as anyone. And Sadiq is a different animal. And
How many positions could he play and be an All-American? Like, there's not very many positions on the field that he could not play. Like,
no.
That's a superhuman freakazoid. Like, they don't make many humans like that. I mean, that dude is just
the NFL is going to screw up and let the Chiefs somehow draft him, and he's just going to take over for Kelsey. But what's a blessing in disguise, though, if you're an Oregon fan, you're like, okay, hey, we've got to this point, and you got one more week. Like Washington is not going to be any sort of thing. I don't know if even can they survive a loss to Washington, be 10-2, and still get in. I don't know. Who knows? But the blessing in disguise with the receiver injuries is that you've had to force feed Sadiq, and you've had to use him in wide receiver roles and force feed him targets. And granted, he's getting healthy, but still him being the focal point of their offense, 14 catches, 168 and 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. That's a good thing for them because it was hit and miss with him early in the season. He's more like blocking and, they're trying to get everybody else involved, but when he's the focal point, that makes them very scary, I think.
That's a good thing. Near the goal line, they isolated him on safeties. He wins. Like it's pretty simple. I don't know. Dante misses too many. There's too many miscommunications with receivers, and that might be because they're not healthy. But like too much of the short stuff that they missed, which I didn't like today. I didn't love what I saw from their offense, but. You know what? One team had really good balance and one team didn't. USC could not run the ball at all. They run the ball really well at all. No. And I love what Oregon did. Now, listen, Tui Odie is really good, and he's 44. All over the place. Yeah, 44 is an animal. But they did a really good job. Now, USC tries to hide their back and move them around, but they did a really good job of putting 4-4 towards the back as much as possible and just chase. Like, when that tackle pulls, go chase him down. Make Miami pull the football and run the ball. And he did some. If I was USC, I would have done it more to create more balance. Running backs in this game, and USC has one of the most balanced offenses in all of college football. All of college football, period. Running back, longest carry of the day was 6 yards. 6 yards. And Dan Lanning and Oregon eat, sleep, breathe, live that life, live that world.
Well, that's Riley. Why I think they can win it.
Lincoln Riley, yeah, but I'm not ready to go there yet because I think their defense. I think their defense is really good. I think out wide they gave up a bunch of plays today. They dialed it in, but they gave up a bunch of plays. I don't know that they'll consistently win on the edge at corner. I don't know across the board. Like who's the guys for Oregon that it's going to take over a game defensively. Like, I think 44 is an animal who we talked about. Like, he's a really good player. See ball, get ball. Like, that dude's the epitome of a see ball, get ball guy. Like, epitome of it. But
Mateo.
I don't think
he's really good. I don't know that he's
I don't think there's enough greatness. Like, Arvell Reese, Downs. Like, we've got multiple guys. Like, Georgia's defense, you're going to have, C.J. Allen's got to get healthy. But, like, Georgia's defense, A&M's got pass rushers that, like, how's going to impact the game, going to change it. Indiana's got guys that are in the front and in the back, that Pons in the back specifically, and our boy up front, Kamara, like, they're going to impact the game. I don't know, man. I don't know if there's enough greatness, but I love what they did today. They out-toughed USC. I don't know if they can be as one-dimensional against a lot of teams. I just don't know if that's going to happen. But they got the dub,
and that to me,
and they're going to the playoff because they're going to They're going to line up and pile drive Washington. Like they'll be able to line up and hammer Washington. Did you think it was interesting? Gary Danielson in the broadcast talked about Dante Moore and was like, Coach said he doesn't like to get hit. I heard that and I was like,
heard that.
I was like, I wouldn't tell anybody that, first of
No.
all. But he does. But he's obviously a flatliner. But I didn't love hearing that because I got to run him. Like he's going to have to run some down the stretch to help this offense
the other
too.
thing,
But
that's basically Big Ten. You're getting 3.
yeah, I think so.
Unless Michigan beats Ohio State, you're getting 3.
Yep. Now let's get to the ACC because we can spin the wheel of destiny because who the freak knows week in, week out. And Pittsburgh, man, I tell you what, Narduzzi talked about we can lose by 100 to Notre Dame and all we got to do is be ready for Georgia Tech. They were freaking ready for Georgia Tech. So maybe we had it wrong. Maybe Narduzzi was right. Like, because they came out and they were spitting nails, man. Like, I love the way Pittsburgh played to start this football game. Like, they were flying around. They get up big, 28-0. Now, their energy, they were playing with swag. 28-0. This game is about to be over really, really quickly. About to go into, close to going into half. They stop them on third down. They get a personal foul call for taunting. Georgia Tech gets a first down. They go down the field, they score, they get a stop, they close it to 14, and we're like, holy cow, this might be a game. And Georgia Tech was way too nonchalant. They did not look like themselves. Haynes King, the offense, really, really struggled out the gates. They had a turnover, which they don't do a lot of. And Heinschel continues to just play really well. Like, Heinschel for Pittsburgh, like them making that decision and going there gives them a chance, obviously, to be very much alive now in the ACC race, which, again, is going to be amazing because you got – now that Pittsburgh beat Georgia Tech, I think Georgia Tech's basically out. SMU, if they win and Pittsburgh loses next week and Virginia loses, they're in. SMU had a heck of a day. We can touch them quickly a little bit later. But this game got super competitive. It got closer and closer. The 100-yard pick from Loveless, like, that was the game, man. Like, Tech about to score, another mistake. Like, it was a big-time deal, right? Like, Haynes threw it at the goal line, got rid of the football too quick. Maybe Georgia Tech was looking ahead a little bit, but that was a big difference to give Pittsburgh momentum again. Now, listen, Pittsburgh tried their best to run a fake punt late in the football game, get them back in it. But Georgia Tech, man, the defense started the day awful, have had so many awful days the past couple of weeks, haven't looked the part. The offense has. Offense put them in a few bad spots. Defense held Pittsburgh in the second half to 27 yards. 27. Like, they really locked it in, got more aggressive, got more pressure, got them back in it. 27 yards of offense going into the last drive, a 4-minute drill, and they did exactly what they needed to do, man. Ate up some clock, but trusted their young buck QB in a big spot to throw it on first down and get a completion, to throw it on third down with, like, now 2 minutes and change left in the game, and then Boozy Turner goes the distance, kicks it in gear, takes it to the house. How about that young buck, man? Number 25, man, like looking like a baller too. He's a freshman as well. But Narduzzi, man, like just year after year, like really, really good football coach. Consistently gets his guys up to play. Brent, what did you think about Tech though, man? Like I didn't. Obviously, coming out like they did, Georgia game next week is a big look ahead, and that's something they were probably focused on. But Brent Key was about to lose his mind. Heinschel was doing whatever the freak he wanted to do early, man.
Well, have you ever heard of Murphy's Law?
Yeah.
Whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
Yep.
It did. And I do think that you could tell that Haynes King was pressing in this game. I think he knew what it meant. You could granted, his face looks that way all the time.
It does.
So it's not like his facial expressions change a lot, but you could just see that, like the early pick that he had was probably one of the worst decisions he's had since he's been at Tech.
And he does very few of those. That's not a normal thing. Like, yeah, you go to his games and you're like, when is this dude gonna do something stupid? Like, you literally can go game after game after game, and you find I'm watching Bear Bachmeier, and I'm like, that was stupid. That was stupid. Like, what do we do? Why are we throwing that pass? Haynes King very rarely does that. So maybe that's the right word for you. Like, maybe they were pressing because And then he throws the pick six, obviously, which is the dagger. That thing,
yeah, and that was pressure.
He was about to get hit. Yeah, he was about to get hit.
He was about to get hit, and they sim pressure, drop back, that sort of thing. I will say, at a certain point in the game, I was looking up how much Pitt was ahead of Louisville and still got beat 17-0. So I was visions of that in the head. But like the fake punt was bizarre. Wasn't that like 4th and 8, 4th and 9?
It was 4th and 7-ish. Yeah, it was at least 7-ish. It's one thing to run that play on 4th and 3. Now Penn State did it against Nebraska, and it was fantastic, and because it worked. When it works, it's absolutely great. But it was a big time. Penn State, man, like good rally. Terry Smith doing a good job getting them together. It means something to him, and the coach that decided to stay at Nebraska gets stomped by Penn State. So it was an interesting way to finish because everybody wanted him for a little while. So,
but like one of the things with Tech that and that you can see is like it's a struggle defensively for them. It's such a struggle, and they had to just say, "All right, screw it. We're bringing the house almost all the time," and they got to him. And you might see that next week against Georgia as well. But I don't think they play as bad in the beginning against Georgia as they did in this game. That's for darn sure. It's just they've had their number too much, especially early in these games, to look that bad against Georgia. But what stinks for them is that they are obviously Dunsky in the ACC.
Very much Dunsky for the playoff.
Yes.
So, but
they can just
be. Let me tell you something. Still a great season for Georgia Tech, and nothing would make Brent Key and company happier than beating Georgia. Doesn't matter. Like nothing. You want to salvage this. They're probably upset. They're gonna be upset this week. But like the rally cry is no. We hate them.
We play them.
We don't like them. They're not our friends. They think they're better than you. Go out there and stomp their face in. Like everybody talks about Georgia. They don't talk about you. Like we're going out there for blood. And this time we're going to finish. Like we're going to get them down and we're going to finish them.
Personally, I was it did stink a little bit because one, when we did our preseason predictions, I did have Georgia Tech in the ACC championship game. So I was like, I was hoping to get at least one right because we both put Clemson there. So 0 for 2 in that regard. But two, I have so many great screenshots from the dog vent at UGAsports.com of the responses when I said in July that, hey, there's a world where Georgia Tech is 10-1 going into the Georgia game. Hey, this is the world then that exists, and it's a lot of funny stuff that I was ready to throw out there, but I don't get a chance to now.
Yeah. Well, it was still close, and listen, it was because of the schedule. Like we looked at their schedule, that was the main reason.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We didn't think Georgia Tech was going to be a juggernaut. We thought their schedule was going to lend them to being in a position where they'll have a chance to play for the ACC, and they did. They had a chance.
I do think your point in the beginning though was the best. It looked like they practiced for 3 weeks for Georgia Tech, not anybody else.
Which is fantastic.
In the beginning of the game.
Hey, that's. I don't care if we lose by 100 to Notre Dame. Syracuse knows that feeling too, by the way. Syracuse and Fran Brown. There's not much to talk about with that game. I mean, actually, you know what? We'll hit that real quick. We're supposed to be hitting something else. But how about Notre Dame had 21 points, Brent, before they snapped an offensive play?
Yep.
21 points. Like, Notre Dame absolutely came out and boat raced them. Like, there was nothing for them to do whatsoever. Love had 171 yards, I think, on and 3 touchdowns on
carries.
8 carries.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
I think it was 8 or 9 carries. Like,
yep.
The Irish, and it's funny because I feel like Notre Dame obviously doing this, but at the same time, people are going to hate because the Miami game, they're not in a conference. They can't play for a championship. And Notre Dame's going to do what they did last year and what they're going to do in the future. Hold my beer, Biznich, because I ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. Like, I don't care. All I got to do is, have they beaten a bunch of great teams? No, they haven't. They have not. But, don't act like Miami killed them. Don't act like Texas A&M killed them. Really, really close football games. But I think Notre Dame.
Can they win the whole thing? 100% yes, I think.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch them continue to grow, but they absolutely slapped Syracuse. That was a no doubt about it early, 70-7. 70 to
I think I
7.
saw is the second most points all time maybe at Notre Dame Stadium. It was only there was like a game in the 30s against a place I'd never heard of that was number 1, 73. So
Yeah. So I wish we could go longer into some of these details about scoring on defense, special, whatever, all the things. But it was ugly. There's not much to talk about. Speaking of another ugly game, by the way, this game. Listen, I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound like I don't know how it's going to sound. Like, to me, like, that was you got to win ugly sometimes. And Utah won 51-47. Agree. Everybody has their ugly moments, their ugly games. That wasn't ugly. That was grotesque. That was pathetic. That was, dude, Kansas State's never rushed in the history of their school for more yards. That was as easy as it gets. Kansas State's a bad football team. I love Kansas State. I love what they've done in the past. They're a really bad football team. And the fact that they just lined up and shoved it down your throat, they couldn't create offensive explosive plays at any rate coming to this game. And they rushed for 476. Like, Joe Jackson had like 237 at the half. Like, first quarter they had 200. I mean, like, listen, I know you're lighting up the U at your campus, Utah, up on the hill, and it's beautiful. It's awesome, and a win is a win, and you stay in the hunt. But if the playoff committee is going to tell me Alabama's struggling to rush the football and why we're putting it there, then I want to hear that from Utah this week, that Utah couldn't stop a nosebleed, and they couldn't stop a horrible Kansas State team. Like, that to me doesn't look like a playoff team. If they don't play for a championship, which they're not going to in the Big 12 more than likely, if they don't, they don't look like a playoff team to me. I can't get behind it. They scored on offense. They were explosive. I think Bird Ficklin sometimes when he comes in, I'm like, man, I want to see him more because he's such a good athlete, and I feel like he's one of the better athletes on the field, and he should be in there more. And they were down a couple of scores and somehow pieced it together, and they get an interception on a 2-point conversion, which was PI, and they run it all the way back, and they cut it to 10, and it was just – there's a lot of things that down the stretch broke Utah's way, and they won the game. But this doesn't look like a playoff team to me. I'm sorry. I love BYU fans. I love how tough you guys are. I love everything about Kyle Whittingham. But, like, I don't know, Brent. Maybe you feel differently. But I didn't see that. That doesn't look like a playoff team to me. It just doesn't. So I don't know where they're going to be ranked, but wherever they were, like, I would consider moving them down significantly if we're watching this from week to week.
I have no problems with that.
Because they ain't beat anybody anyways. We've been pointing to this for weeks. There's nobody on the schedule that we're bragging about who they've beat regardless.
Do you know what they have a high number in, though?
Game control metric.
Control.
Which just went the other way, right?
That's what's going to be interesting to see, is because of mainly Vanderbilt, actually, because of what Vandy did today.
Bro.
Because Miami was kind of, I mean, they had control of that game for the most part, but like, I'm just thinking of the teams around them where it's
not game control for Vandy for me. It's what, and we've mentioned this a couple times on the show. It's what Pavia is doing. Like, and we'll get to that in a minute. Like,
yes,
but all those teams, we're looking at those. Go ahead.
The fourth down play where they called the too many men on the field after the whole substitution issue, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Because I thought they were going to let him get off the field.
I thought that's what you're supposed to do. But it's almost like, wait a minute, at this point in the game, Utah needs to go fast, which they sucked at going fast too, because they were going slow. Like that's why the whole operation for me, defensively making tackles, offensively they made plays, but it just yeah. Like, we'll have more takes on that later. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't see any way how that happens. Like, I don't see how that's something
No, I
that's
don't.
going to – I just don't
I don't
see
look
it,
at them
man.
as a playoff team either. I look at them as a team that had a
no.
great season. It's had a phenomenal season. Is likely going to be I forget who they have next week, but likely going to be 10-2.
And listen, and this is someone coming from someone too that wants to be right in the preseason. Like, I had him in the playoff discussion. Like,
Yeah.
This is the team I had right there. Like, it's not that I don't want to be right. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing from this team, and especially Daly's out now. It looks like that was a significant injury. Like, he's the one who gets to the quarterback. You know, Spencer Fanu, he got hurt.
Yes.
Like, their best player on offense and defense probably are hurt now. I don't know the seriousness, and we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, uninspiring, ugly, whatever you
I
want
thought
to
Kansas State was going to hold on still, and also
Kansas
they don't win the
State.
game without the whole 2-point getting 2 points,
Yes.
which was amazing.
How about Kansas State this year? Like, we should do a segment on the ways they've lost this year, because, like, I tweeted at Brent. I said, Siri, show me how to lose a football game in a bunch of different ways. And what came up was Kansas State and Auburn. That's what came up. So
they're the leaders in the clubhouse for that one.
Game in a bunch of different ways.
my phone literally right next to me picked up when I said Siri. Shut up, Siri. All right, next. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go to Norman, Oklahoma. You know, if you're looking at Oklahoma, there's a lot of things to like about Oklahoma. Oklahoma, obviously, they have to win to get in. They're guaranteed to win if they take care of Missouri and they take care of LSU. Oklahoma's in this thing. Like, they're going to go to the college football playoff, and I think we're all waiting to find that offensive breakout in that moment that you go, oh, I'm back buying into it, and you had about 3 or 4 plays this game to choose from, but that was about it. Like 17-6 over Missouri. They get the dub.
Oh, you're just going to say 2 plays.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, there wasn't many. Like, they're winning with old school football, with great defense and timely offense, a good kicking game. Like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of old school football. But like, you've got to be impressed. I was most impressed today with Oklahoma's defense. Like, they held Hardy to 0 yards in the second half, 0 rush yards. Like, that's a big, tough animal, and he got off early. And he had some good success. I thought it was perfect, Missouri. It was a great start from Missouri because Missouri comes out,
Yes.
owns the clock, takes half the first quarter, gets 3, goes up 3-0. Defense, we know what Missouri's defense is going to do. But Brent, I've known you for long enough. I know. I don't even let me tell my stuff because I know exactly where Brent Rollins is going to go here. But Missouri's defense continues to play good enough to be in every single game. Like, Missouri lost by 3 to Bama, by 7 to Vandy. The only team they got beat bad by was A&M, and then they lost by 11 today to OU. Like, Missouri doesn't have a lot of great wins. They've got that quality loss thing going on. They've been competitive every game. Their defense is super good. Pabula comes back. He was actually moving better than I thought he would. Yeah. I was like,
Agreed.
dang, because this is the dude that the cart came out for, several weeks ago. But the offense continues to be a hot mess. And Brent, here's where I thought you would jump in. 3-0. Stop. Go down the field. 4th and 3. Field goal unit sucks. Like, it's ungood. Like, the first one he hit, but it looked like me hitting a driver where I hit it off the heel and it somehow went in the fairway. It was ugly.
So I was going to ask you about that. I literally wrote that note. Do you do that with your golf shot frequently? What the kicker did on the first one?
That's hilarious. Yes. Like, so it was a 39-yard field goal, and homeboy looked like he tried to miss it. He had about 6 yards extra. Like, it was not good. It was very ungood. And they go to kick it again. The kick gets blocked. But, like, Drink, we've seen this movie, man. Like, Drink, I've seen your offense. I've seen Pabula with it. I've seen Sowers with it. It doesn't matter. It's not great. So when we got opportunities, we got to score. Like, we can't. 4th and 3 is a green zone. Like, Mr. Analytics, I figured you would love this. Like, I don't care what the analytics says, even though I think they'll say go for it. Like, Oklahoma's offense ain't great, but I do know kicking threes is not that good. And if we're not kicking threes, we're going to lose at some point because they can make some big plays. But I'm like, broski, I just didn't love it because, again, they're in every game. There's always opportunities, but you got 4th and short twice, and you're kicking games, meh, and you go for it. Like I just don't get it. I would have chosen to be more aggressive.
Yes, always.
But Missouri's they've been in every game, and I'm sure you're frustrated as a fan. Like, surely we're going to get one of these at some point.
Well, then you had the late opportunity where it's like, okay, maybe we can get within a whatever field goal, whatever. And Coleman had the 4th down kind of drop, maybe a little bit off. Either way,
He should have caught that.
Play. He would say he
make
would make that
catch.
He's like, he would say he should make that catch.
And Pavia threw a great one down the sideline to him to get him down there, which I even thought he could have stayed in bounds if he contorted his body a little bit. But that's another thing too. I love Drinks. I love Drinkwich and his program. But like, I'll say this, the play calling, and I know we want to run to a certain side with Hardy, and I know that's our thing in stretch play, but I think they could be a little bit more creative. Like, I think they need to be a little bit more creative than because they're not just because here's what Oklahoma did. Like, Oklahoma's getting gashed a little bit. Oklahoma sent a linebacker every single time as a run-through player. So now you got to block the front, and now that linebacker's coming right through, and that ball's going to have to cut up. We're not letting you play this pick-a-hole game. We're not letting you play. Yep. We're not letting you get Hardy and his arson legs downhill, because when his arson legs get moving with his speed and his power, like, bad shiznick's going to happen for you. And the fact that you stop some of that stuff, and Heineke's a baller, man. He keeps just tackling everybody. He's fun to watch, but Oklahoma just continuing to do their thing. What you got?
You got one more. Got to go get one more. Find a way to get one more against LSU, and you are in the college football playoff and likely hosting.
Yeah, but think about their resume, and when they start getting compared to other folks, they're the only team in college football with 4 wins against currently ranked teams. Like right now, they're the only one. Missouri, now they'll probably be unranked. Bama, Tennessee, and Michigan. No, currently ranked teams as of this week.
I thought Bama had 4 too.
I think Bama's got 3 as of this week. Let's see if they got Missouri, they got Georgia, they got Tennessee, and they got Vandy. So they're 4 too. There's two teams with 4. Oklahoma and them. And it's those are great. Those are great things. Those are great recipes. And now you also have the Mateer factor with his hand, whether you like it or not. It's a part of it. But the way they're playing defensively is good. But you got 3 freshmen on that offensive line, and they're gonna have to figure something out, man. Like they've got to figure something out, because there's too many good teams. There's too many good teams out there that you can play great D and try to win a playoff. Now listen, Boomer Sooner, don't be biatching about the playoffs. Like, making the playoffs with that schedule, like, gosh dang, bro. Like, last year the wagon tipped over on the way onto the field like it did several years ago. This year, man, you should be jacked up with everything of what's going on. So,
very true.
Still a great season for OU, but it was the offense.
And also in the past,
some things to do.
They find a way to lose that game in the past, potentially, like where they just let the team hanging around and they screw it. But right now, the way they're at least controlling the ball and not turning it over, letting their defense do their thing, they'll be just fine. I think they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they are too, because LSU is kind of like some other teams that are. Penn State didn't, though. Kudos to Penn State. Kudos to Terry Smith, keeping those boys together. Had a good day. And I think Katron became the all-time leading rusher in Penn State history tonight, too. So good for him.
Wow.
All in history. That's not bad.
There's some names on that list, too.
There's some really good names on that list. All right, what do we want to go to next? Like, listen, Texas, there's not a lot of meat left on this bone tonight, boys and girls, because it's not the greatest of slates. I think y'all know that. But, like, Texas gave up 37 to Arkansas. Arch Manning looked like the Heisman Trophy winner that we talked about before the season. So that was a 52-37 game. But Texas's defense, like, slowly, like the start of the year, man, they were number 1 and stuff because we were like, their defense is going to be elite week in and week out. And that defense has been leaky now, week in and week out. Like that's honestly, I didn't think Arch was going to win a Heisman. I didn't think he was that level good, but I thought he'd be really good. But I thought the defense would be elite. And that defense is not elite.
Just think if Arkansas had like a semi-competent defense.
Yeah, Arkansas is an
they would have won a lot of
job.
football games.
Because I don't know if y'all know this, people that don't know much about Arkansas, but like that's where Walmart's at. Like there's some big companies that are there. Yes, like there's some big companies that are there, and that they can get some serious cash flow pumping into that. They got Calipari a couple years ago. Like I'll be interested to see what that hire looks like. Hey, one team that you better go ahead and start putting on your radar when we start. Like if you're gonna compare me now, because I just watched Utah, and you're gonna compare Utah and Vandy, there's no comparison. Like there's no comparison to me. Like Vanderbilt slapped Kentucky around. This offense is absolutely stupid. Like this offense, I was the first. We did a Heisman Trophy list like week 9. Pavia was not on it for me because his numbers were not great. The passing game was not great. He's back on this sucker. Like he is going like this to another level. Tennessee's still on the docket to end the season, a ranked possibility to win to end the year, to make another statement. You just saw Utah's stinker. That you got a chance. Just think about these numbers. First of all, Vanderbilt, 9 wins in the regular season for the first time since 1915. 1915. Here is Diego Pavia's numbers the last 3 games. Okay, Brent? The last 3 outings. Texas, threw for 365, rushed for 43, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Auburn, threw for 377, rushed for 112, 4 touchdowns, another bagel, another donut in the interception columns. Kentucky, pretty physical unit. You know what? Screw running it. She's going to throw it. Threw it for 448, and then 48 rush, 6 touchdowns total, and 1 pick.
That was actually 469.
I mean, just
484 like, actually.
484 today?
Yeah. You had the numbers flipped around.
What? How ridiculous is that? Like, that is insane. And this offense was already physical. It was already good. It already gave you option in 65 different ways. The passing game was solid, but it wasn't good. It wasn't really good. Now it's really good. Like it's going like this at the right time.
And it wasn't just Stowers. Like it was 6 today.
Yeah.
With the deep ball. And he puts a couple deep balls
right in the bucket. Right in the bucket.
And their defense, like we talked about, we had mentioned in the preview, like, hey, defense has been struggling.
They've been leaky.
Recently.
They've been leaky.
But then had a bye week. They look like a completely different unit.
Well, they played Kentucky.
They've been playing well, though,
well,
offensively.
Yeah, you told me that. Remember, you gave me those awesome numbers, and I'm like, they played 2 booger eaters.
But still, they played well. They hadn't played well. They played well. They only gave up 3 points. Or no, 17 late, but basically 3
points.
You.
But I'm just saying, late. I think Vanderbilt's in a position right there to go maybe earn themselves a playoff spot. Like I think there's a lot of things that we're still going to have to discuss because I'm interested to see what the freak's going to happen with Miami. Like it was Miami won today. If you're not watching, for those of you that don't watch college football, I'm going to say this again, and I've said this several times throughout the year, and I don't want to be a broken record. Malachi Toney's one of the best players in all of college football. Like, just watch this dude. Because now he's wildcat, he's jet sweep, he's reverse. Now they're starting to use his arm throwing the football because he played quarterback in high school. And just like Mario Cristobal told us on this channel, like, he's a great thrower of the football, won a state championship when he switched. Like, he's the ultimate. He is the most versatile piece in all of college football. There is none more versatile than him. He ain't big. He's competitive. He's tough. He blocks. Like Malachi Toney is one of the best players in college football. I know Miami hasn't been doing this as much. And listen, today was kind of lackluster. It was okay. Like Carson played well. Malachi played well and did a little bit of everything. The defense gave up too many big plays. They got some more injuries. They got run on a lot.
today.
A lot of big plays in the running game, missed tackles, struggled setting the edge, and they've got a couple of injuries now too, which are not good for them.
I saw
still,
the guy who'd gotten some interceptions recently got hurt.
He's out.
Was that bad?
Yeah, it looked like it looked like a shoulder. Like he was like very much. Yeah, it was Thomas and Scott both got hurt, but their run D was leaky, missing tackles.
What do you think of that last touchdown?
That's called the committee's watching. A slot fade to Malachi with what 20 with no.
I would probably counter with that's called the committee's not watching.
Correct. Miami basically had a chance to run the clock out or take a shot and put up some numbers because guess what? The committee talks about numbers and talks about run defense. So I don't care if you do it. Hey, I got one more rant. I don't know if I want to save it for another day. Sorry. I'm sorry. SMU. Flowers. Like,
yes, please.
SMU deserves some flowers. They've been doing this. That's why I thought they were going to beat Louisville. Like I did. I wasn't worried because they do a good job of stopping the run. Louisville's down a couple of guys. Now listen, Miller Moss not playing obviously did not help that situation at all. But they beat Louisville by 30. Like and Jennings continues to do this. Like we talked about him going into this game. Like he continues to play well. That's third straight game over 300. He went 29 of 37 today, had 4 tutties. Like he's doing a lot of really good things at the quarterback spot. Like this offense looks really, really good. It looks really connected.
With Jennings too. And the thing I think if you're a fan of just college football and watching football in general, so many quarterbacks nowadays, they look robotic's not the word, but they all look the same because they're all going through the same drills and working how they footwork in the pocket and their arm angles and all that. Kevin Jennings is just fun to watch because of the way he moves, arm angles. There's no throw, no touch throw, laser down the seam, shovel pass TD, backyard ball. Like I enjoy watching Kevin Jennings play football.
I'll say this. I agree with everything you said. There's also at least 5 throws a game that you're like, what the freak was that? There's like, because he is not scared to throw it over the middle, and he's not scared to do it off platform, and then that thing will float a little bit, and you're like, oh, I better get out. Like there's at least 3 or 4 or 5 moments where you're like, yeah, that's not good. I got one rant. So America, hear me out here. Okay. It's really nice. Ohio State's a great team. They're a really, really good football team. They're one of the best teams in the country. They might be the best team in the country. What's really nice? It's really nice when some people talk about schedules, a la Dan Lanning did today. Dan Lanning talked about schedules and who they're playing. If you want to talk about schedules, we can look Dan Lanning right at your schedules and who you've played. It hasn't been that impressive. Like, I don't think you want to play that game. You want to talk about when they're playing right now? Sure. You know what's nice? It's a nice luxury, Dan, when Ohio State can rest their top 2 receivers. When they're a little bit dinged up, because they play in a league where they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about winning every single game. They don't have to worry about winning to survive because they don't have to worry about being tested that much. They're still a great team. Ohio State's still a great team. Dan's not wrong that sometimes the calendar lines up late in the season where SEC teams aren't playing anybody. But let's not look at your schedule and look at other schedules and say that it's comparable because it's not. It's not comparable. Ohio State's a great team. It's just a nice luxury to be able to rest guys and sit them out because your conference schedule is not good and it's not tough. You can bring your C game and you can still win. So it's a nice problem to have. I want to be the person at the party that's the richest. I want to be able to buy everybody else out. I want to be able to have all those nice things. It's a good thing. Like, it's good to be that talented where you can afford to do that. But you can't do that in the SEC. You can't. Like, whether you like it or not, it's the case. And so next week, obviously, big week with Michigan coming for Ohio State. Oregon has a chance to prove themselves to get in, and we can figure all this out. But I'm not with the taking shots at the schedule thing, because if you're looking at your schedule, man, it's pretty clear what we can look at and what we can say about it, Brent.
I have a Ohio State question to follow up on that, and very awesome rant. One point and then one question. 1 point. I can't stand it when Ohio State's on the 4 box. Like my TV, now granted, if I had like a 150-inch TV, I might be able to see. But like I feel like I need binoculars when Ohio State's in the 4 box because how far away the camera is angle at their games. But anyway, do you think Ohio State fans have had fun this season?
Winning's freaking fun. I mean, I think they're bored.
That's what I mean.
They've probably been bored. What's interesting is like, and again, I wonder how you feel because you've been all about Julian Sain because the numbers perspective. Like, how did you think he looked without Tate and Jeremiah Smith?
I mean, he still puts footballs in play, like just accuracy levels that are beyond insane.
It's pretty good
in terms of ball placement. But yes, it makes a difference when those two guys are not.
You look pretty human.
Playing.
Yeah, like I think that they're probably they better be having fun because it's fun to kick the crap out of people. I just think it's not fun to watch them play a bunch of bad teams. I would just love and credit to Ohio State for scheduling Texas. Like
yes.
They scheduled Texas. They went out of conference to go get a great game, and that was 14-7. They love that game. That was at home. They won that football game. But since then, dude, like there's not a lot to get excited about. So probably happy you're winning,
plays.
But there's nothing exciting. Like, yeah, Jeremiah Smith does it every game. Like, there's always something he does that's fun. But it's also really nice when you can sit out. Like, it's not exciting not watching your guys either.
So I think the other point about today as it relates to Ohio State, and I do agree that, like, to me, they're sort of still head and shoulders from a talent perspective. There's a gap between them and the rest. It just goes to show you, though, an ankle here, just random injury that causes you to miss one of these one of these big-time guys to miss a playoff game. It, like, coin flip now. It's not like you can do that in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
those guys are needed.
Yeah, it's you're right. In this chat, you're right. It's not their fault.
No,
it's not their fault. Penn State fell off a cliff and made sure there was rocks at the bottom because they didn't want to live through it. But it's also part of the formula. Like, and then Dan, who I love, I've talked about how much I've loved when he throws that out there. I'm like, come on, man, really? Like, because Dan's coached in this league. Dan knows exactly.
He knows.
He knows exactly what it is. And LSU's sad, by the way. Just like, do we go ahead and give Lane the LSU job now? Like, just like right now, you come, like you can bring all of your Ole Miss guys with you because, golly,
I did see where all the Weeks kids got on the field together for
that's cool.
Senior Day. All 3 of them that are there. One other sort of BYU's only up 6 with 2 minutes to go, so that's going on right now. They do have the ball. But as I'm watching today and sort of looking at the landscape of all this and watching these teams, I feel like we're going to have like 10 of the 12 best teams in the playoff, barring some true craziness next weekend.
Yeah.
I think the best teams are going to be in the playoffs, and that's a great thing.
Well, and we'll go over it this week too, because I think the best teams are already in it pretty much.
That's what I mean.
We're going to have a good indicator. There's not going to be a lot that's going to be the championship games are obviously going to be interesting to see how that works. But we got the committee coming around the corner too, which like they can't get worse. I mean, so hopefully they watched Alabama's run game. It's not a surprise that Alabama had like 8 rushing touchdowns today. I think I think it was literally. I think it was something
8.
like that. I think it was that.
It was 8
for that very reason. It's like what'd you say? Like that's why Miami threw that pass too.
Hey, shout out to Tennessee getting a win at Florida for the first time since 2003. Yes, Florida has seemingly
quit.
You said it. But hey, they still went and took care of business, and took care of business early. Didn't make them interested in the game. One other thing from today: do you think Deuce Knight is now a part of your plan if you're Auburn next week against Alabama?
I wouldn't have played him today. I would have saved him because there's a lot more indecision. Like, what is he? What is he going to do? Like, the high school version, but I would have saved him. I wouldn't have done it. I'm just telling you. I understand what you're saying, but weird thing. There is some kind of spirits and mojo and weirdness that goes on at Judd and Hare when Alabama comes to town. Like there's just something about it that's crazy. But I would have held it. But listen, with their run game and their defense that they've had, like it definitely makes sense to put them in the offense, to run them a bunch, and whatever you can to possess the football and play better offense. But Auburn they've scored a lot of points the last 3 weeks. Like the offense has gotten better and better and better. So can you play your best game at the end of the season where it's going to mean a whole lot? So good for them. Several games will mean a whole lot.
So what did you think of a certain, he's their coach, I guess, but I saw him on TV and the sidelines and everywhere else. Mr. Franklin is now fully invested.
I loved it.
In Virginia Tech.
I loved it. It's strange. It's very strange, but I think that the good thing about it is you're already starting to build culture. You're trying to get to know the guys. I think you're evaluating. I think you're on the sideline evaluating. I thought it was pretty cool in the booth. He said he called Frank Beamer just to make sure that Frank Beamer was okay with him taking the job. He was like, he wanted to have his blessing. And I'm like, interesting. Wow. But I think that like being around the players in the locker room, being around the players on the sideline, watching the guys with good attitudes, I think you get to know a glimpse of them before they all jump in the portal and everything gets weird. I think it's a good thing to have a little bit of knowledge and background of your team. You got one more game too where they can play spoiler. Like they can beat Virginia and knock them out of the ACC. Mm-hmm. And they've had a bunch of there's a bunch of history there, and it's not good for Virginia. Like it's not been good at all. Like it's been very lopsided in that series. But
can you think of an example like that? Like I was trying to think of an example where guy was coaching coaching a top 5 team early in the season, gone, and then rehired before the season even ends, and is now hanging out on. I don't ever remember that happening, but I'm sure somebody's got an example of that happening.
You've seen it with like bowl games where people will take over.
So in,
but not in the middle of the season. My wife asked me the same question. She was like, "Is he like coaching there now?" I was like, "No." I was like, "The coach did get fired. Yes, he got fired. Yes, he's the next coach, but he's not there yet." And she was like,
"But there's still an interim coach calling plays and talking to the team and all that."
She was like, "That seems really weird. Like that seems really weird." And I was like,
"Did he go in and give a pep talk before the game? Let's go, guys."
That would be even weirder. I like what he said though. He said like, "Listen, college football's it's here. Like it's different. It's evolving. So we're gonna have to evolve. Let's do some things." I love the way Virginia Tech had a direction. And Virginia Tech fans, again, you should be happy. You got a great coach. You got a guy that's won it multiple spots. Can he win the big game? No, he hasn't done that. But you're not gonna win the big game anyways. So like, how about we just get closer to bigger games? Like win a lot more games consistently, and I think that's success. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Good recap. We'll be here all this week, man. And just we're getting closing time, man. Last week of the season, last regular season week. So get everything locked in. Talk about all the games that really matter for playoff contention. Brent, I think we update the list of teams that are alive. I think it's a good time to do that.
Like I have it right here.
Yeah.
Right here
well,
on the desk.
Wait for the show. Wait for the show. Wait for the next show. And then we'll eliminate some people. I think we saw some teams today get eliminated. A couple of teams that will be on both of our lists. I'm sure that we'll get to take because those guys got stung today, maybe, and got eliminated. I don't know. But we will see you guys all throughout this week. We'll be back 3 days this week. So we'll see y'all. Appreciate y'all joining us. Peace.